Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bradley, and I'm the church administrator at Redemption Hill.
Hi, I'm Danielle Hall, and I'm our Children's Ministry and First Impressions Director.
Hopefully by now you've heard that Redemption Hill is opening its doors for in-person services this Sunday, June 14th.
And whether you were here in person and transitioned with us to online worship, or you found Redemption Hill online over the past several months, know that we take your safety very seriously. So we've gone ahead and we've outlined all of the ways that we're changing things here at the Hill in order to keep you and your family safe. You can find all of that information at rhcinfo.com.
We're going to go over one of those things today. As part of these safety measures, we have limited seating here in our main sanctuary or worship center. This is to help us adhere with best social distancing practices. And with this limited seating capacity, we are asking that you RSVP for either the 9 or 10:30 service. This RSVP system is quick and simple, and once you get the hang of it, it should take you less than 5 minutes to walk through. It can be done from an app on your phone or tablet, or even on a web page on any internet-capable device. We are going to walk you through each of those here in a few moments, but there are a couple more things we wanted to talk about before we got there.
First, Redemption Hill is, for the time being, moving towards a family worship model. So that means all of our kids, no matter their age, are going to be here for worship in the sanctuary throughout the entirety of service. And this is super exciting, and we want you to know that we have planned for your children during this time. But what that also means is that as you're going through the RSVP process, you're going to need to take some time and RSVP for your children as well. So once you RSVP for them, you and the whole family can come out. There will be activities for your children to do here in service that match the tone and the theme of that day's sermon. And so those activities will be available for your kids who are joining us here. But we also know that family worship presents its own set of challenges, particularly if you are the parent of a little one. And so as you're walking through the RSVP process, in addition to RSVPing for your children, you will also have the option to RSVP for either the mommy room or for one of the classrooms in the Redemption Hill Kids building. So we know that if you're a parent of littles, there may come a time during service where you need to change your little one, you need to feed them, or you simply need to give them a space to get their wiggles out for a few minutes. And so we've opened these rooms up for you. They'll be available no matter whether or not you RSVP for them. But if that's something that ahead of time you would like for us to go ahead and set aside for you, you can RSVP for those as well.
Now, if at any point you get on to RSVP for a service and you find that that service is full, please contact the church office. We do plan to reach maximum capacity here at our main worship center, and we have planned for that. There is a seating area that we can provide you should we reach maximum capacity here. So please, if you log on and find that full, contact us at info@redemptionhillirwin.org. We're going to do everything we can to help you get safe seating here on site so that you can worship together with the church body in person again. So thank you for taking the time today to learn more about our RSVP system. We are truly very excited to be returning to in-person services, and please know we're doing everything we can to make sure that your worship experience is a safe one. And again, if you want more information about the other things that we're doing to help keep you safe, please visit rhcinfo.com.
Finally, again, if you've been our guest online these past few months, know that we would love to have you join us in person on our campus as we resume in-person services. We would love to invite you, if you feel safe enough to do so, to come out for either the 9 or the 10:30 service. Our welcome team will be here ready to greet you and to give you a gift on behalf of Redemption Hill.
See you soon.
Hi everyone, it's Danielle again, and I am here today to talk to you about how to RSVP for an upcoming church service using the Church Center app. Now, if you haven't been using the Church Center app, that's perfectly fine. You can download it from whatever app store that you use. It's going to look just like the icon that I have in the upper left-hand corner. If you've been using the Church Center app, this first part is going to be more about logging in, but don't worry, we'll get to the RSVP portion later in the video.
So once you've got the app downloaded, you're going to want to open it up. Now, if it is the first time you're using the app, it is going to prompt you first for some location information to help you select Redemption Hill Church as your church, the church you're trying to access information for. This is not my first time logging in, so my church has already been saved, but the prompts are very easy to follow. Then you're going to log in, and it's going to prompt you to enter a mobile number so that they can text you a code, or you can use your email address instead. If you've already been using Church Center for online giving, you can simply use the mobile number or the email address that you've put in there. I'm going to use my email, and then I'm just going to go here, paste it in, and then once your email address is in, all you have to do is click next, and they will email you a 6-digit code. If you entered your mobile number, it will text you the code. Now the code does change every time, so you can't simply log in with the same code each time. But once you log in the first time, you will have the option to remain logged in. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the 6-digit code that came to my email. I'm going to click next, and then it's going to pop up with my name. It's going to ask to get logged in. Now, if for some reason this information doesn't look correct, you have the option to click not you, and then it will walk you through the process of helping you find your name or helping you get logged in or create an account, whatever the issue needs to be. But of course, if you have any questions, you can always contact the church office. We'll be happy to help you as best we can. However, this is me, so I'm going to click login as Danielle. And then it's going to ask, if you're logging in from an iPad or from a phone to enable the Touch ID and all of the security features that are built into your phone. I'm not going to do that right now, but I would recommend that you do that just because it does have all of your personal information that you've allowed us to input into our system. And then you're going to see the Redemption Hill page. The picture of the church is there. Along the bottom of the screen, you'll see different options. There's a home button. There's giving, so if you want to use this platform for online giving. There are groups, so you can connect with online community groups, or if you're a parent, you can connect to the Redemption Hill Kids parent group. Check-in is also available there. Once kids start meeting again regularly, you can take advantage of early check-in and those types of things. But we're going to click this last tab that says Events. And when you get to this tab, you're going to have the option to either RSVP for the 9 a.m. service or the 10:30 service. So you're simply going to choose whichever service you and your family would like to attend. Now, my screen does have a test option, and that's because I am registering or RSVPing rather for a service before it is live. So I'm doing this video on Friday. Services won't be available for you to RSVP for until Sunday. But the events look exactly the same. So I'm going to go into this test service. You'll see there's information there. The church address is there. There's also a link to REC info that will walk you through some of the safety measures and precautions that we're taking as we return to corporate worship in the midst of COVID and things of that nature. So we're going to look at this button down here at the bottom right hand corner that says register. And then once you click it, it's going to take you to the Church Center webpage. It'll open right there in the app. You won't need to do anything. And then you're simply going to select who is attending with you. What you should see on the screen is everyone who is listed in your household. So my household is just me. So as it should be, I am the only one listed there. But if you're married, you'll see your spouse there. If you have children, or you check in, or if you come to church with your grandchildren, you'll see whomever is a part of your household listed there. If for some reason you don't see someone there, for example, if you have children and you don't see them listed, it's probably because they've never been checked in to kids before, and we simply don't have record of them. So you can always add someone to your household if for some reason something doesn't look right. That's not a problem. But this looks right for me. So you're simply going to check it. It will present you with a drop-down menu that says standard. You don't really need to change that. There's nothing else to change there. So once you check whomever you're going to check in, you're going to click next. And then it's going to take you to some details. As you can see, I don't have any personal information listed here. Your screen may look different. You will probably see something to the effect of your home address and your mobile phone number as well as any email contact information that you have. If you don't see that information, that's fine. Please don't feel like you have to input that information. You can RSVP for a service without it. Then at the bottom of the screen, you'll notice that there are some add-ons. So for the time being, we are moving towards a family worship model. And that means that all of our little ones are going to be worshiping in service with us together. And I am so excited for that. I can't hardly stand it. But we also know that with family worship, that presents its own set of challenges, especially if you are the parent of littles. So what we've done is we've put some add-ons here at the bottom of the screen that allow you to RSVP for a room in case you need to care for your littles during service. So we do have the mommy room that is available for nursing mothers and for mothers of infants. We do ask that the mommy room be specifically reserved for mothers, particularly mothers who are nursing or who need a little bit more privacy as they care for their little ones. We are also opening the Redemption Hill Kids building for you to use during this time. And again, you can reserve a room if you feel you're going to need to change your little one, if you're going to need to feed them, or even if you think they're just going to get a little antsy and they need a space to go to get their wiggles out for a few minutes. That's fine too. So we're going to ask that if you feel you need this, to take advantage of it. If you feel like this isn't a thing that you need, but you get to service one day and realize that you need to change your little one, or if they need somewhere to go and get their wiggles out and you haven't RSVP'd for a room, that's fine. You can still absolutely take them to either one of these rooms, but we are just offering this as a courtesy to you. So just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just going to choose that I need a space in the Redemption Hill Kids building. Then I'm going to go to review, and it's going to simply let me review my registration. So it'll have my name. If I made any type of room reservation, that will be listed there. If you need to go back and edit it, you certainly can do so. But other than that, if that looks good, you're simply going to click complete registration. And then it will give you this screen that is a confirmation of your registration, or your RSVP rather, for service. And then it will send you an email. That's what just came through on my computer. And so it will send you an email as well, just to let you know that your RSVP has been received. And we are so excited that you are going to come and worship with us. So I, again, hope this tutorial was beneficial for you using the Church Center app. There is so much more available on the Church Center app for you to use and help you get connected with everything that's going on here at RHC. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. But in the meantime, I am so excited for us to be back at Redemption Hill on June 14th. And I cannot wait to see you there. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to let us know. Have a great afternoon.
Hi, it's Elizabeth again, and I'm going to be showing you how to RSVP for service using your phone and the RHC Info webpage. So I do have an iPhone, and if you're using another brand of mobile device, this may look a little bit different for you, but you should still be able to follow along with what we're doing here. The first thing you need to do is open up the web browser on your phone. For me, that's Google Chrome. And we're going to use this search or type URL bar to just go straight to rhcinfo.com. And no matter what brand of phone you're using here, you should see something very similar. Either these cards are going to be in one line that we can swipe through, or they're going to be stacked and you can see multiple on a page. We can swipe left here and find the card we need and a few more cards. But also you'll notice this 3-line icon in the upper right, and that is actually a menu button, and from there we can go straight to RSVP for service. This webpage has a lot of information on it, so if you have any questions, you can come here to find answers. Danielle and I have covered most of this in the intro to our walkthroughs today, so we're just going to keep scrolling straight to the bottom and find these 2 buttons. You'll see here an RSVP for service button, as well as a contact the church office button. If you have any questions, you're finding something's not quite clear, maybe you're having trouble, you can use that contact the church office. And that's going to open up a form right here on RHC Info, and you can just send us a message right quick and let us know what's going on and what we can help you with. But for now, we're going to use this RSVP for service. That's going to open up the Church Center webpage. So we're now in a new tab, and Danielle has done a walkthrough with the Church Center app. So if you're looking for how to use the app to do this, you can go back a few minutes and find her walkthrough there. But if you'll scroll, you'll see we have a few options for service. It's important to note it's June 4th for me, so I can't yet register for these church services because they only go live 7 days prior to the service date. So you'll see this June 14th service down here at the bottom doesn't open until June 7th at noon. So what I'm going to be working with is this test service. This is a service Danielle and I built for us to register and not really mess with the main service. It is an exact copy of the other services, so everything should look exactly identical. And you'll notice this register button at the bottom kind of floats at the bottom no matter what I do, and that's what we're going to use. From here, this is kind of where we begin the process of logging in. It is asking for a mobile number. This is going to be the number already tied to maybe a giving profile or a Planning Center Services account. If you don't have an account with us, this is kind of the beginnings of setting up an account as well. And if you don't want to use your mobile number, that's okay. If you'll notice below this next button, you'll see use email address instead. And that's what we're going to select. And I am just going to paste my email in there. And we're going to next. Now, it is emailing me a 6-digit code. If you elected to put in your phone number, it's going to text you a 6-digit code. And I actually already have that in my inbox, so I'm going to use that code. Now, I am Elizabeth, so that's good. But if for some reason this name doesn't look right, make sure it's not a nickname that you go by, or maybe you go by a nickname and it might be your given name. But if it's not either of those cases, go ahead and hit that not you, and it's going to walk through either finding an active profile or helping you set up a new one. So we're going to log in as Elizabeth. And the next thing you'll see is a list of everyone in your household. So for my household, it's just me and Justin. But if you are a parent of a Redemption Hill kid, then you should see their names here. As part of the check-in process, we should have their names. If, for instance, for some reason you don't, you can use this add someone else button, and that'll let you add someone. Email address is optional there. We're not going to do that today. I am just going to register myself and Justin. And you'll notice these drop-down menus. You can just go with what's there. There's no special service type. And we're going to continue to details. And this is where it's going to ask you for personal information to confirm your information. You can skip this. You don't have to have any information in it. I currently have the church address, phone number, and my work email there. And you'll see at the bottom, this is important for parents. We have a couple of options for you. We know that family worship is going to come with some challenges, and so we've tried to plan and prepare to help you with that. Our mommy room, of course, is open. Some of you may be familiar with that. But we're also opening up rooms in the kids building to kind of give you a space to let your kid walk around for a minute, maybe change them if they need some attention in the middle of the service. We do ask that the mommy room be reserved for women wanting privacy while they feed their infants or toddlers. But if you don't want that privacy, don't need that privacy, you are welcome to the Redemption Kids building. We'll help you reserve a room there. Dads, this will be the place that we use. So just for this example, to kind of show you what this is going to look like when we finish, I'm going to reserve the mommy room. Now I'm going to continue and do Justin. So you'll see here, you don't really have to put any personal information in. Justin doesn't have any personal information in this example. And since I've already reserved a spot, Justin's not going to reserve an additional spot. We ask that only one parent reserve a spot just so that it saves room for other parents. We're really blessed at Redemption Hill to have lots of littles, and we just want to make sure all parents have access to a space to take care of their child during service. And that's going to conclude the review. And we're going to go and finish up RSVPing for service. So it's going to let me kind of look at everything I just registered for. Yep, I asked to reserve the mommy room. Justin's not reserving anything so that we can leave space open for other parents. And with that, I am going to complete my registration. And yep, I have a confirmation, and I should be getting an email in a couple of minutes that basically says the same thing, lets me know the details of my registration. And that is how you RSVP for service. It's super simple. I can come back here, cancel my registration, change it if I decide like I don't need the mommy room, and all of that from this web page. If you're looking for the tutorial on how to use the Church Center app, you can go back a few minutes, and if you want the tutorial for how to do this on a desktop, that's going to happen next. So just stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, Elizabeth here again. This time I'm going to walk you through how to RSVP for service on a desktop or laptop computer. If you're looking for the Church Center app walkthrough or a mobile device walkthrough, you can rewind a few minutes and find those there. Right now, what you need to do is open up a web browser, whatever web browser you prefer, and it doesn't matter what kind of device you're using. We're going to go to the search or URL bar, and we're going to go to rhcinfo.com. So you should find this page. From here, we have a couple of options. You'll see RSVP for service right here on this top row. But we're going to use this link right here in the menu. And that's going to take you over here. There's lots of information on this page. If you have any questions, you can come here and find the answer. We're not going to dwell on this too much. Danielle and I have already gone over that in the intro to this walkthrough. So down here at the very bottom of the page, you're going to find two buttons, RSVP for service and contact the church office. And if you're at any point having trouble, have questions, maybe something's not quite clear to you in this process, you can use this button. What it's going to do is open up a form here on RHC Info, and you can just send us a direct message and let us know what we can help you with. So for now, we're going to use RSVP for service. And that's going to take us over to the Church Center webpage. Again, there is an app for Church Center, and Danielle has done that walkthrough already in this video. What you'll see here is a few services, and you'll see more and more services added as time goes on. Services aren't set to open up until 7 days prior to the service. So I'm recording this video on June 4th, so you'll notice I can't yet register for this service because it doesn't open until the 7th, which is 7 days before the June 14th service date. But what we have done is Danielle and I have set up this test event. It's an exact duplicate of the other event. It's just set up so that we can walk you through the process here. We've got a little bit of information, but we're going to use this register button. And this is going to start the login process. So if you already have a giving profile, or maybe you use Planning Center services, the mobile number you have tied to those accounts you can use here. If you don't have either of those apps with us, don't worry. This whole process will help you start an account, and it will let you give as much or as little information as you would like. So don't be nervous about that. You'll even see here that instead of a mobile number, we can use email, and that's what I'm going to do. I am going to add my email there and go to next. So it's going to send me a 6-digit code to confirm that this is in fact my account. If you opted to put in your phone number, it is going to do the same, and I have already gotten my code. You'll see it comes in pretty quickly. One thing that's important to note, this code changes every time. So if you're logging in to register for a service and then next week you come back and have to log back in, you're going to get a new number. It's different every time. This is me. If this name isn't familiar, make sure it's not a nickname, or maybe you go by a nickname and you'll see your given name here. It just depends on what information we've gotten from you in the past. If this happens to not be the right name, you can use this not you arrow and either start finding your right profile or setting up a new one. But since that's me, we're going to continue as Elizabeth. So that's going to bring up my entire household, which in my case is just me and Justin. If you are a parent of a Redemption Hill kid, you should see any child you've checked in with our Redemption Kids department here. So part of the great thing is all of this is linked. This is also the program you can use for early check-in when we begin that again. If in fact you need to add someone, there's this really simple add someone button. All that's required is their name. You can see here email address is optional. But for now, we're just going to register Justin and myself. And we are just going to do standard registration. You'll see there's no other option there. And we're going to go to next. Here we review the information. And you'll see here right now we don't have any personal information in for Justin. And that's to show you don't have to include any of this information for various members of your household. And that is if you have kids, they don't have addresses and things like that. Now, for parents down here, what we have done is we've kind of set up a system to help you reserve a space throughout the Redemption Hill Church building. We know that family worship comes with its own challenges, and there is probably going to be a time or two when you need to get up and maybe just take your kid for a brief walk. Maybe they need to pace around a room for a minute because they've got the wiggles, or maybe they need to change. What we're doing is setting up a reservation system so we can make sure we spread families out and follow good social distancing practices. So we have a couple of options here. The mommy room we would like to reserve for mothers wanting privacy to feed their children. But for Redemption Kids, that space is more flexible. There's less privacy there, but there's bigger rooms. It's easier to spread out a little more. So we're just going to go on like we want to reserve a room in Redemption Kids. And so I'm going to go on to review my information. And you'll see here, I do have a full list of information. All of this is the church information. You'll see there's the church address, the church phone number, and my email. Since I know Justin has already reserved a room in Redemption Kids, I'm not going to reserve anything. That's going to allow us to have free space for other families. So just know as long as one of the adults on the account is registered for a room, like there'll be a spot reserved for you. And we're going to continue to review our registration. So right here you'll see we've reserved a space over in the kids building. I'm signed up, Justin signed up, everything looks good, and we're going to hit complete registration. And that's it. You should get this confirmation screen as well as a confirmation email. And it's that simple. It'll get quicker and quicker every week that you do it. And again, the app and mobile devices are great resources. If you haven't already, check out those walkthroughs. It's super simple. Thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you again really soon.